Another question around story is going to be from Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. this week, which comes out of some advertising that was stuck on the side of a tram.
Which was cool.
We all
I
saw
want
this a
it.
couple of weeks ago and thought um, this is just a link to maybe Hellfire. A little bit unusual to have a whole tram devoted to that one character in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., but we had no real reason to believe otherwise. Hellfire being one of the Inhumans in season 3 who had powers remarkably similar to Ghost Rider. There's a reason for that. Is that Hellfire's origin is he's the grandson of the original Ghost Rider in the comics, whereas in this
Oh.
he's just a straight up Inhuman.
Ah,
Yeah,
okay. Didn't know that. That's cool.
yeah. But
That makes a lot more sense now.
yeah, in the the new development is that there's been a casting call, which I think I've got some information on. So they've asked for uh, basically two brothers, one of them being the most dangerous man in the room, and one of them being in a wheelchair. And everyone's kind of concluded that they're looking for the new Ghost Rider, who's a guy called Robbie Reyes, who drives around in a car rather than riding around on a motorcycle. Slightly different Ghost Rider design, and he's got this Dodge Charger that's all imbued with the Hellfire. So it seems pretty cut and dry that's the direction they're going in. But the question is how they're going to tie it in with Hellfire. Whether they're going to be some sort of links between them. Seems a bit strange if they don't.
Yeah, it is weird. It is a weird choice considering you had Hellfire.
Another
Yeah.
sneeze.
Yep.
Good lad.
Had to get
That
out of
saves
the
me
way.
editing that out
Um,
later.
I don't know how they could do it, and like unless it's just like Hellfire's there, and then Ghost Rider turns up, and like Hellfire gets his chain out, and then it just gets completely destroyed. I don't know.
I don't.
Like, oh, you're very similar to this guy we had last season. Huh.
Mm.
That's neat.
Ghost Rider
Genu- hmm?
doesn't feel like a Shield character.
No, not on the face of Ghost Rider, but what
No.
they could handle him differently.
He could be this vigilante, like, because at the end of season 3, we had the flash forward. 6 months later, Daisy's apparently on the run. They're not Shield anymore by the looks of things. Fitz is working with life model decoy programs. Oh wait, no, does he help him with that, or is that what he's saying that he wish he helped him with? I can't remember,
Wishes he
but
was there to celebrate it anyway.
that's it. Yeah. So there's a lot of threads up in the air, and this is just another one that's just like, all right, showrunners, you got us on board with season 3. You finally knew what you were doing, so I trust you know what you're doing with this. Like, unless like the Ghost Rider could be the big bad for the season.
Maybe.
I know he's a good character, but maybe the way about things is like, oh, it's upsetting people, blah blah blah. You guys need to take this in.
I mean, I think there's clever ways they can do it. It's nice to have a couple of like younger characters in the show again, and people who would need to kind of learn their powers. Daisy has gone from being completely
She's leaping buildings
wet
now.
around the ears to she's just a badass now. So it's nice to have that sort of rollback. Whether it's like an Inhuman whose power is to absorb other people's powers, and whether he like steals or borrows Hellfire's ability and uses it in his own way. It's some sort of link to Hellfire. Otherwise, it's just two guys with fiery chains. But
A fire chain fight would be cool though.
yeah, that's true. But it's interesting. It's certainly a new direction to go in, and it's a way to use the Ghost Rider license. Because I didn't necessarily think it was a Shield suitable sort of Shield property either. I don't really want to see it in the Netflix universe.
It would be weird. Right, I've never seen Ghost Rider as this ultra violent type like Daredevil or the Defenders. Like that, like, but then again, I haven't read much Ghost Rider. Like, all I am familiar with is a few comics and the Nick Cage movies, which
I mean, the powers in Netflix, they're quite understated. They're not normally very visually.
It'd be weird to have a guy riding around
with his head on
in a
fire.
fire car.
It's
Yeah,
a bit much, isn't it, for Netflix?
Yeah.
Quite expensive as well.
So this,
Which makes me think that he's not. We're going to see more of the alter ego than we are of the Rider, because S.H.I.E.L.D's got a lot of push with the political side of things as well, and that takes up quite a big part of the story. Just sitting and talking, not necessarily getting into the scraps, and particularly the first half of the next season, they need to push focus on what's happened with Daisy, what's going on with these life model decoys, and what's happened to the rest of these. Well, Hellfire, for example, what's he up to? Because he got away scot-free. I'm still holding out hope that they bring back Bobby and Hunter the second half of season.
They have to.
I'm pretty sure they will.
Yeah. They spooned it with Most Wanted, as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah, that was the one part of season 3 where I was like, this was a bad idea.
But then by the same angle, their send-off was absolutely amazing. So, I mean, what? You want to bring them back, but do you really want to ruin that send-off? But I think this...
I'll take Bobby and Hunter being back on the show.
Afraid that they're going to try and shoehorn too much in if they're bringing in quite a big Ghost Rider character.
If they do this really does set a precedent of the movie and TV universe going their different ways, and it's also... I think it's Marvel saying, at least to me, it's like, okay, guys, you've proved yourself. Here's the big character. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, they've had Nick Fury on as a cameo, which it's Sam Jackson being Sam Jackson. It's not the Iron Man post-credit scene. Everyone, fucking, still one of the best things in movie history. So like having Ghost Rider, I don't want to say it validates the show because the show's validated itself. Like, it's become a great show. I mean, I loved it from season 1, but I like that Monster of the Week type storytelling anyway.
Yeah.
And then put it in the Marvel Universe. Of course, I'm going to love it. But now it's fully formed. It's got its own lore. It's doing stuff the movies haven't touched upon with the Inhumans. So having Ghost Rider in, you don't even have to have him in the first part of the season. You could have this, like, fiery trails appearing in the city. Like, Coulson's following these threads, or Daisy, someone's following these threads. And then in the mid-season finale, you just have, like, them hunting this trail down, and then it's a car on fire. This guy stands out and he's got a chain, and then that's your sting for the second half of the season or something.
Yeah.
I'm excited. Yes, it could be a bit much, but I trust the writers. Jed Whedon? No. I know it's Joss Whedon's brother.
Yeah, I think it is.
Yes, Jed.
Yeah. He's
Jed
on
Whedon
top
and his
of
wife.
this.
Melissa.
They're on top of it. As much as Kevin Feige don't get on with the other guy who's in charge of the TV, they seem to be doing their own thing. And if this is Ghost Rider, it's very exciting for what can come in the future.
Yeah, and I'm ready for S.H.I.E.L.D. to go in a little bit of a new direction with this season. So hopefully...
Well, I mean, they killed Hydra.
Yeah, and after the teaser at the end of last season...
it's cool. I like it.
Yeah, me too.